It's time for spelling analysis, and today, some of our words will use the advanced phonogram er. Now, if I hold up 3 fingers and say use the advanced phonogram it's this one. And not only that, you'll know something else about these words. This is the French spelling of So let's watch for that. The first word is drummer. The drummer was leading the marching band. Go ahead and say drummer. How many syllables in drummer? 2. Now, what is the root word of drummer? It's drum. And what are we adding to drummer? We're adding which is a vowel suffix. Let's go ahead and sound out drum. D-r-a-m. And notice it ends in one vowel followed by one consonant. So what do we need to do? We need to double the last consonant, and then add an So we will say to spell drum-mer. Let's sound it out one more time. D-r-a-m. The second syllable is mer. Use the of her. Go ahead and write drum-mer, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is drum. D-r-a-m. The second syllable is mer. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the So one more time, why did we double the M? When a word ends in one vowel followed by one consonant and we're adding a vowel suffix, we double the last consonant if the syllable before the suffix is stressed, which it is. So let's read it. D-r-a-m-m-er, drummer. The next word is plunge. They will plunge into the cold water. Plunge. Go ahead and say plunge. Let's sound it out. P-l-u-n-j. Use a g-j. Silent final E. Go ahead and write plunge, sounding it out as you write it. And let's write it together. P-l-u-n-j. Silent final E. Why do we have a silent E in plunge? The G softened to J because of the E. Let's read it. P-l-u-n-j. Plunge. That's kind of a fun word. It's one that's really easy to explain when you know the phonograms and the spelling rules. The next word is funny. This book is so funny. Go ahead and say funny. How many syllables in funny? 2. What is the root word of funny? It's fun. And we're adding the suffix y-i-i-e, which is a vowel. So what will we do? Because you can hear in fun, it ends in one vowel followed by one consonant, we will double the consonant. So we will say to spell fun-ny. What will we say to spell? Fun-ny. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is fun. F-a-n. The second syllable is ny. N-e. Use a y-i-i-e. Go ahead and write fun-ny, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is fun, f-a-n. The second syllable is ny, n-e. And what sound of y-i-i-e do you hear? The fourth. And there it is, saying its E sound at the end of a multi-syllable word. Once again, why did we double the N? We double, when a word ends in one vowel followed by one consonant, we double the last consonant when adding a vowel suffix if the syllable before the suffix is stressed. And it definitely is. It's funny. So that's the stress. Let's read it. F-a-n-n-e. Funny. The next word is advantage. What is the advantage of buying this one instead of that one? Go ahead and say advantage. How many syllables in advantage? 3. We will say to spell ad-van-tage. What will we say to spell? Ad-van-tage. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is ad. Ad. The second syllable is van. V-a-n. The third syllable is tage. T-a-j. Use a g-j. Silent final E. Go ahead and write advantage. And help me to write it. The first syllable is add, d. The second syllable is van, v, a, n. The third syllable is tage, t, a, j. Silent final e. How do we mark it? We'll put a line over the a because it said it's long sound because of the e. And what else? What other reason do we need an e? The G softened to j because of the e. Let's read it. Age, advantage. And you'll notice there are some schwa sounds in there. Any vowel may say or I in an unstressed syllable. The next word is puppy. Look at that cute puppy. Go ahead and say puppy. How many syllables in puppy? 2. We will say to spell pup, p. What will we say to spell? Pup, p. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is pup, p. The second syllable is p, e. Use a ya, I, e. Go ahead and write pup, p. And help me to write it. The first syllable is pup, p. The second syllable is p, e. What sound of ya, I, e do you hear? The fourth. Now, what is the root word of puppy? It's pup. And why did we double the p in puppy? You're right. We added the vowel suffix e. And when a word ends in one vowel followed by one consonant, we double the consonant when adding a vowel suffix if the syllable before the suffix is stressed. And puppy, that is the stressed syllable. Let's read it. E, puppy. The next word is encourage. The coach likes to encourage the swimmers. Go ahead and say encourage. How many syllables in encourage? 3. We will say to spell age. What will we say to spell? age. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is n, n. The second syllable is k. Use a k, s, That is the advanced phonogram The third syllable is age, Use a g, j. Silent final e. Go ahead and write age, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is n, n. The second syllable is k, The third syllable is age, silent final e. How do we mark it? We'll underline the advanced phonogram We'll put a line over the a. The vowel said its long sound because of the e. What's the second reason we have for a silent e in encourage? You're right. The G softened to j because of the e. Let's read it. Encourage. And here we have that schwa sound again, the lazy vowel that can happen in any unstressed syllable. The next word is courageous. The firefighters were very courageous. Go ahead and say courageous. How many syllables in courageous? 3. We will say to spell just. What will we say to spell? just. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is k. Use a k, s, That's the advanced phonogram The second syllable is a. The third syllable is just. Use a g, j. Silent final e. And then ow, o, u, s. Go ahead and write just. And help me to write it. The first syllable is k, The third syllable is, or the second syllable is a. The third syllable is just, j. Silent final e, s. And how will we mark it? We'll underline the and what sound of g, j do you hear? It's the second sound. And then we'll double underline the silent e. We've added the suffix us, which means full of. And what sound of ow, o, u, do you hear in courageous? It's the fifth sound, courageous. Ow, o, u, courageous. Oh, it's the fourth sound. us. And there we go. Now, what is the rule about words ending in silent E when we add a vowel suffix? Drop the E when adding a vowel suffix only if it's allowed by the other spelling rules. Why did we have to keep the E with this vowel suffix us? If we dropped the E, it would say courageous. The E is needed to make the G say J. That's because G may soften to J before an EI or Y, otherwise G says G. So that's why we need the E there. Let's read it. Courage, us, courageous. Excellent. The next word is discourage. It's hard to not let that feel like it, or not let that discourage you. Go ahead and say discourage. How many syllables in discourage? 3. We will say to spell discourage. What will we say to spell? Discourage. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is dis. D-is. Use a s. The second syllable is cur. K-er. There it is. It's that advanced phonogram again. Age. A-j. Use a g-j. Silent final E. Go ahead and write discourage. And help me to write it. The first syllable is dis. D-is. The second syllable is cur. K-er. The third syllable is age. Age. Silent final E. How do we mark it? We'll underline that advanced phonogram again. We'll put a line over the A. The vowel said its long sound because of the E. And the G softened to J because of the E. Let's read it. D-is-c-er-age. Discourage. I have a question. Do you see anything that these words have in common? They all have the word courage in common. And the root cur means heart. So when you encourage someone, you're kind of building up their heart. If someone's courageous, they have a lot of heart. And then discourage means to not have courage. All right, the next word is disconnect. Please disconnect the computer. Go ahead and say disconnect. How many syllables in disconnect? 3. We will say to spell disconnect. What will we say to spell? Disconnect. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is dis. D-is. The second syllable is con. K. Use a k. A-n. The third syllable is necked. N-e-k. Use a k. T. Go ahead and write disconnect, sounding it out as you write it. And help me to write it. The first syllable is dis. D-is. The second syllable is con. K-a-n. The third syllable is necked. N-e-k. And let's read it together. D-is-k-a-n-n-e-k-t. Disconnect. Excellent. The next word is connection. He made a new connection at the party, or at the meeting. Go ahead and say connection. How many syllables in connection? 3. We will say to spell con-neck-shon. What will we say to spell? Con-neck-shon. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is con. K. Use a k. A-n. The second syllable is neck. N-e-k. Use a k. The third syllable is shon. Sh. Use a tall sh. A-n. Go ahead and write con-neck-shon. And help me to write it. The first syllable is con. K-a-n. The second syllable is neck. N-e-k. The third syllable is shon. Sh-a-n. And how do we mark it? We'll underline the sh. Now I have a question. Why did we use tall sh in connection? Because the root connect ends in a T. So we used the tall sh when we added the suffix ion, and it reformed the phonogram tall sh. Let's read it. K, a, n, e, k, sh, a, n, connection. I have another question for you. Do you notice a pattern between these two words? Yes, they're both formed off of the root connect. And disconnect means to or to pull away the connection. In the same way, we have dis here as in discourage. So it means to pull away or to reverse that courage. And to disconnect means to pull away the connection. The next word is immediate. The vehicle came to an immediate stop. Go ahead and say immediate. How many syllables in immediate? Let's do that one more time. 4. We will say to spell immediate. What will we say to spell? Immediate. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is im. I, use an I, E, ya, The second syllable is me, e, use an e. The third syllable is d, e, use an I, E, ya. The final syllable is eight, silent final e. Go ahead and write me, d, 8. Me, d, 8. And let's sound it out together. The first syllable is im, I, The second syllable is me, e. The third syllable is d, e. The fourth syllable is 8, silent final e. All right, I made my syllables a little close here, so I'm going to actually correct this so that the syllables are clear. Immediate. All right, how will we mark this? We'll put a line over the e. Why did it say it's long sound? A, E, O, U usually say they're long sounds at the end of the syllable. What sound of I, E, ya do here? It's the third sound, E. Now, an I may say E anywhere it could say the long I sound. And here it's at the end of the syllable. So that's why it's saying E. And then we'll put a line over the A. The vowel said it's long sound because of the E. Let's say it together, immediate. You'll notice a few of the vowels are schwa sounds. They're lazy sounds. Any vowel may say or in an unstressed syllable. Let's read it. Eight, immediate. Excellent. The next word is introduction. Have you finished writing the introduction yet? Introduction. Go ahead and say introduction. How many syllables in introduction? 4. We will say to spell introduction. What will we say to spell? Introduction. You've got it. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is in. The second syllable is tro. O. The third syllable is duck. K. Use a k. The fourth syllable is shan. Sh. Use a tall sh. N. Go ahead and write introduction. Introduction. And help me to write it. The first syllable is in. The second syllable is tro. O. The third syllable is duck. K. The fourth syllable is shan. Sh. N. That's getting to be a big word, isn't it? How will we mark it? We'll put a line over the O. Why did it say it's long sound? A, E, O, U usually say they're long sounds at the end of the syllable. And we'll underline the sh. Let's read it. Introduction. Excellent. The next word is contestant. The contestant is ready for the competition. Go ahead and say contestant. How many syllables in contestant? 3, we will say to spell contestant. What will we say to spell? Contestant. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is con. K. Use a k. S. Ah. N. The second syllable is tes. T. S. Use a s. Z. The third syllable is tant. T. A. N. T. Go ahead and write contestant. Sound it out as you write it. Contestant. And help me to write it. The first syllable is con. K, n. The second syllable is tes. T, s. The third syllable is tant. T, a, n, t. And let's read it. K, n, t, s, t, a, n, t. Contestant. Do you see any other words in the word contestant? Do you see the word contest? Yes, a contestant is participating in a contest. And there's something else, there's another word here. It's the word test. And the prefix con means with or together. So a test is something, or a contest is something that's done with or together with other people. And a contestant is participating in that contest. So it's fun to see how many layers of meaning are in the word contestant. The next word is wrap. I will wrap the presents tonight. Wrap. Let's sound it out. That's 2-letter app. That's right, it's the consonant spelled with 2 letters. Go ahead and write wrap. And help me to write it. App. And how will we mark it? We'll underline Now, do you remember 2-letter has the meaning of twisting? Do you know how when you wrap presents, you're twisting paper around them? That's kind of fun, isn't it? The last word is carry. I will carry the bags. And for me, from Minnesota, this word is hard to say. I have a dialect where we say, I will carry the bags. But many of you say carry. So I will carry the bags. Let's go ahead and say carry. How many syllables in carry? 2. We will say to spell carry. What will we say to spell? Carry. Let's sound it out. The first syllable is care. K, use a k, s, a, The second syllable is re. E, use a y, I, e. Go ahead and write carry. And help me to write it. The first syllable is care. K, a, The second syllable is re. E. What sound of y, I, e do you hear? The fourth. And you'll notice, you can mark this if you want. It's not the phonogram R. It's not kari. It's saying carry. And you might be laughing at how hard that is for me to say or chuckling, but I wonder if there are any words that are tricky in your dialect that are a little trickier for you to say. And that's okay. You don't need to change how you pronounce them in your speech. But once again, the phonograms and spelling rules are representing other dialects, and they do have a logic and a reason to them. Let's read it. Carry. Excellent. Look at these really big words that you can now explain logically. And these words you can now explain using phonograms, using spelling rules, and using morphemes. Great work today.
Combining the science of reading with the joy of learning. Learn more at essentials.logicoфenglish.com.